Right. Good evening, people. My name is JR and I am the FrGooner. I'm joined there by Kerr and Ash. How are you guys? You good?
Well, thank you,
Good,
brother. All good, all
Good
very
good.
good.
weekend?
Very
It's
good
all right, wasn't it?
weekend. Very good
It's all right.
weekend.
Decent, innit?
Reasonable.
It's better than it's been for a while, isn't it?
For real,
Come
for
on.
real. Did anything special happen?
Not really off the top of my head, you know.
Nah,
We smashed them.
we smashed them. We smashed them.
We
That's
smashed
right.
them,
That's
man.
right.
Come on.
Nah,
Who are we talking about? Who are we talking about? I can't remember.
the shit up the road, innit?
That's it.
They're not very memorable, them, lot, are they? Do you know what I
There you
mean? I needed
go.
reminding.
Well, they ain't won nothing, They ain't won nothing. So what's there to remember?
You wouldn't have thought so, the way they talk.
Trust me.
They won the
Trust
league
me.
in August. They won the league in August.
The talk started early, innit? The amount of banter we were getting, like, yeah, we watch mind the gap, blah blah blah. You're gonna get relegated, etc. You know, like I saw a stat. Yes, I'm saying I saw a stat the other day that I think they hold the record now for being at the top of the league and being the quickest to. Was it? I don't know.
Be
Even
overtaken.
Basically, from the team that was bottom at the start of the league to then be overtaken because we was bottom.
Exactly.
You just can't make it up, innit? I made a video on it on TikTok where basically I do it all and summarize it, and like, yeah, it's crazy, man. Like 3 games. They was tweeting it as well, innit? Tottenham was tweeting it, the table.
Yeah,
so that's what's even more funny. Do you know what I mean? Just bit them in the arse, didn't it?
Well, let's get into it. Obviously, we're talking about the North London derby. Arsenal winning 3-1. Great result. Great performance as well. Let me start with you, Kurt. Did you expect the result firstly?
Do you know what? I was actually quietly confident about this game going into it. More confident than I am usually, which is actually a bit of a shock considering, like we was just saying, where they've been in the table and where we've been more recently. Started to see some green shoots over the last couple of weeks, to be fair, getting some of our players back and stuff like that. So I was actually quietly confident, but I can't lie, being a North London derby, it got to about an hour before the game and then I started to get a little bit.
Couple of trips to the toilet and
riding on it. I'm telling you, a couple, like that, just to settle the nerves and that. I was a bit nervous, as I say, in the last hour, but before that, I was very confident.
Yeah. I think it was similar to you. Like towards the beginning of the match, I was getting a bit nervous, but I was thinking, do you know what? They haven't beat us there in what I think it was 11 years since 2010 or something. I think they beat us 3-2 at the time. So they've beaten us once within 10 years. And it's a long time, So really and truly, I thought, you know what? I don't think they're going to do anything here. I thought worst case scenario, we would get a draw. But to be quite honest, I thought we should beat these guys. I was looking at that team as well. Kane is not on form, still not in form. Son for me is the only player I was concerned about looking at that starting lineup, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, he always does things in the North London derby, innit? The last couple, he's actually been the one to watch, for us. Like Kane seems to have the record in terms of scoring goals, but he always seems to get penalties and this, that, and the other that kind of stat pad a little bit, and sometimes hide his performances. Whereas Son's always just a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Did you think it was a penalty? Did you think it was a penalty? Talking about the penalty when he got.
I kind of thought it was.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Ben White.
Yeah, Ben White.
It looked bait, didn't it? It looked extremely bait.
When I first saw it,
I went toilet again after that.
I thought, oh, he's got a decision to make here. I'm not even gonna lie.
Because it was outside the box, then it didn't go to VAR, isn't it? Is that? I think that's what it was, or it would have. I don't think VAR looked at it.
Because when they actually looked at it, I think it was just inside the box. I think.
I couldn't really tell, so I just thought they would
just inside the box. But I think he then fell outside the box. But
I think that I was thinking the same as you. That it was inside the box, but from what I was hearing the commentary, I thought that because you would imagine they didn't even look at it, did they? As far as I heard, they didn't look at it.
But there was a couple of decisions that they didn't really go to it. It seemed like in that game. To be fair, it didn't seem like they were using it.
Yeah, that's when you kind of know it's going to be your day. I'll be honest with you. When I first saw it, I thought it's a penalty. I looked at it again, the replay, and for me personally, I thought it weren't a penalty. I thought that Kane's gone for it, to be quite honest. But the problem that I have is that
played for it 100%.
Yeah, everyone I've spoken to after, I said, nah, Jay, that was a penalty. That was a penalty, and a few Arsenal supporters as well. So I'm thinking,
I was hearing that.
Yeah, I need to see it again.
I didn't look at it properly in the replay.
But
I was
you guys know as well,
listening, is the VAR coming in? If it ain't, I don't even care if it was or not. You know them ones.
But you know, like, you know how sometimes though when they put a still image, it can make things look worse.
Yeah.
Slow motion
in the actual motion of it. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, even when it was in motion, when I was watching it, like what you said, JR, I thought he played for it. Personally, like. The only thing I was upset with, I was a bit like, oh, Ben White, like that was it was a clumsy leg, and I thought now you're giving the ref a decision to make. And whereas Golden Balls Kane, Golden Boy, you know, England Golden Boy, generally 9 times out of 10 he gets those decisions. He gets ones that ain't penalties. He gets free kicks that ain't free kicks. He backs into people and gets free kicks. Like
100%.
It's mad. So I was really nervous.
It looks so bait, doesn't it? In fast,
it did. Normal
play, it looks so bait.
And when I saw it slowed down, and then when I saw it slowed down, I thought, nah, he played for that, and I thought there weren't enough contacts for him to go down like that. To be fair, personally, when I saw it, but then when I'm seeing people putting still pictures around them, whatever, obviously, if you can see a leg touching another leg,
you can't go by a still picture. You can't go by that.
That's like, you got to put a bit of context behind that. Do you know what I mean? Like how much force is in that tackle to make man go down or put him off his stride or whatever the case is.
It doesn't give the true
reflection. For me, it weren't enough. No, it weren't enough for me. But I don't know if that's just me being biased with my Arsenal hat on or what.
Literally. But one thing I would say about that is that what I've seen, Ben White had a decent match, to be fair, but you know, in the previous match against Burnley, he gave away that suicide ball to Ramsdale, almost conceded a penalty there. And then obviously he may have fouled Kane. We don't know. It wasn't given anyway. So I'm a bit concerned about that. He seems to have a little, he seems to have a mistake in him per match, you know. But Ash, let me get to you. What did you think of the performance, bro? Because we were talking before, obviously, and obviously we were saying that, you know, the victories have only been 1-0 previously, you know, Norwich and Burnley. And we've got the win, you know, we were on a run, but the performances haven't been that great, if I'm honest with you. But what did you think?
See, I didn't think obviously it was going to be a battering what it was. Like, no way. I was like, just a lovely surprise. But in the same way, our performances weren't great, but, you know, just like against Burnley and against Norwich, it was almost like not necessarily clear-cut chances. But, you know, for example, when pretty much all of the goals, we was like 3-on-3, 4-on-4, we'd like transitioned well, like into like a good position. And then that final ball to the assist before the assist was bad against Burnley, especially. Yeah. But that game, the Spurs game, on the money. Every ball was correct. Like Smith Rowe's blurted down the left, slotted it back twice in it to Aubameyang, the second goal, wasn't it? And the other goal.
The second goal,
Yeah, who scored I'm trying to remember who scored the first goal again.
Emil Smith Rowe scored the first.
But
Smith Rowe scored the first goal.
Yeah.
So basically, and it was funny because me and Kerr was messaging at half time, and it was like, you know what? It's a bit greedy, but I'd love a 4 or 5 here. Do you know what I mean? Like really,
trust me, just to put
really
it up,
batter them, innit? Like burn them off differently. And to be fair, you know what it is? I would say this is the kind of difference, and I kind of like it in that under Wenger, that could have possibly been a 4 or 5 because he would have just carried on going. Arteta was just like, you know what? We've done the hard work here, innit? We've done the hard work.
Bit of game management.
Game management, exactly. So even though we could have gone on and done more and like battered them more, it was like, you know what? Let's just manage the game, get the result.
Yeah.
Which we did. And like we never really looked in much danger. Do you know what I mean? And we was always like on the break, we've got pace for days. Yeah, man. I was just, you know what? I was just happy, man, with just to go on just with the characters, man. That's what I was loving. You know, just like seeing like Ramsdale and Tomiyasu just like
We ain't had that in a while,
high-fiving,
have we?
you know, just over tackles and just
Nah.
like saves. I was loving that stuff, bro, because that, you know, that we ain't had that for time.
Yeah,
like, there's just no one in the team. It looks like they actually cared. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
That's a massive plus for me. I think that's a lot of Spurs fans who I spoke to. They was just like, you know what? All right, you can play poorly, you can not turn up, but where's the application? Where's the desire? There was none. There was nothing.
Yeah.
They didn't care. It just didn't even look like they cared, as well as being off form. So yeah,
and
entirely
you know
happy,
what?
man.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was concerned about before the match, because I was thinking, how we've got what we bought has 6 new signings. How many of these people know how much it means to win the North London derby? And would winning the winnings translate on the pitch? Would we get those players up for the match, so to speak? I think it was key to have the Hareland kids, you know, Emil Smith-Rowe, the likes of Saka, who understand what it means to win this match, you know. But to be fair, the likes of Tomiyasu, that he's literally just come off the plane, bro. The guy was solid. I read a stat. I don't think he's had any dribbles past him yet.
No,
literally
0
you
since
know?
he's been there.
Yeah, I didn't see anyone go past him, bro. He was Son still in his pocket, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, literally, you know. So to see the likes of him, Ramsdale, like you were saying, being so vocal, being strong, you know, being vocal in the match. We haven't seen Leno talk. I don't even know if Leno can talk, if I'm honest with you. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's so true. That's so true. It just seems like he's not even there half the time. You know what I mean? He's just so Just I'm loving the confidence that, and that's what it is. I'm loving the confidence that Ramsdale's instilling in the defense, the team. Like his communication between his defenders, even down to, you know, like every tackle they make, he's praising them. Even down to when they're doing something wrong. He's not scared to tell them what he thinks. Or
when he tipped the ball over, in it, that was a save as well. When he tipped the ball on the bar, he went mad at man for not closing down on that. You know what I mean?
That was a great save. That was a great save.
You know, I was going to say something quickly, just saying I thought of on the spot here. You see that with the players, as in, you know, like our normal kind of transfer market activity of like recent past anyway, we're going for like Williams, David Luiz's, and even just like more established names. And it's more like, you know what, you're seeing a difference in attitude, because all of the players we've kind of brought in are almost either like not on Arsenal's level. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, you know what, I'm like privileged to play for Arsenal. Do you see?
They're young as well.
That's what it is. Yeah.
It's a lot more there. Do you see what I mean?
They're all hungry. They're all hungry to prove
they're just like
themselves.
David Luiz. We've won Champions League. We've done this and that at Brazil. We've come here for, like, you know what I mean, a retirement team.
Yeah. Paycheck.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, you see the difference. I like the
retirement home.
Exactly. Literally, you know. I like the fact that these players are young. They're enthusiastic. They got something to prove. I mean, Kerr, were you someone who said you'd seen Ramsdale before? Did you think he was such a good goalkeeper? Did you know about him, or were you one of those Arsenal supporters?
Be honest.
I will be honest. I weren't as bad as Ash. Okay, going around making memes about him.
All right, I've been on him. I've been on to him about that. Yeah,
everyone knows about that. You only hit 500,000 views, mate. No,
this is what I'm saying. Like, well done for the views, but it's for a negative, innit? As usual with Arsenal, innit? Anything negative will blow. But because all the rest of the fans will get onto it as well, innit? You know, like that actually went round in my group, my WhatsApp group, from people that don't even know you, Ash.
I know.
Like, and they put it in the group. I was like, that's my boy, innit? I was scared to actually tell him I knew you, though, bro. I was like, nah, look what he's doing to me, bruv. Like, they're sending my boy in my group as banter towards me. Like,
who supports Arsenal as well? Remember that.
Oh, man, this is my point. Like, he was giving them ammunition, you know, like that. I weren't happy. Ammunition.
About 4 people said the same thing as you. Actually, same thing, same story. But go on, Karen.
To be fair, though, there was a lot. You summed up a lot of the fan base's feeling at the time, because there was a lot of people that were along that same line, innit? That were thinking like, why we bought him? Look at his stats. He's been relegated, this, that, and the other. Blah blah blah. But when you think as well, I was trying to put. It did, and I think, to be honest, that was the only thing. And But I think that's kind of justified a little bit more now, because I think, again, back then, hindsight's obviously a wonderful thing now, in terms of none of us were really expecting that it was for him to be number one and replace Leno as quickly as he has.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, we thought potentially, you know, he'd come in and fight for the place, or, you know, like, or we would be easing him in. Yeah, like competition, and we might ease him in. And, you know, because we all kind of heard the murmurs about, you know, Leno potentially not wanting to be here for that much longer, maybe not extending his contract and things like that. So I thought, well, maybe they might give him a bedding in season, see how he goes. Leno will be number one, and then maybe come towards the end of the season, you know, after some cup games and things like that, we might see a little bit more of him, and then potentially next season would be his season to kick on for us. That's what a lot of us were initially thinking. So I think that's where the price tag got a lot of people hot and bothered about, especially where they were thinking, you know, they thought the resources that we'd spent as well, because it weren't just the price tag, it was where that allocation of funds was actually going to. And that's the thing. Where was the allocation of funds? You know, a lot of people thought they could have been used in better areas, whether that had been a centre midfielder, whether that had been a right back, like you say. Some people were saying a striker to replace Aubameyang and Lacazette and all these things there.
That's exactly it. That was my kind of
so I think process. That was a big, that was a big thing. That was a big part of it. But I also think that for me personally, I'm a person that don't really just jump straight on a bandwagon. So I like to have a little look at what we're getting ourselves. When I did do a little bit of background on him and found out, obviously, all right, you can be relegated, that's one thing. But when you've been voted the player of the season in all of those teams,
facts,
there's not many positives that you can take in it from a relegation season for fans and whatnot. So as you to be rated as the player of that season for multiple teams, you've got to have something about you, whether that be your character, your personality, something. So in that way, I was like, okay, maybe there's something. And then there started to be a few stats that were thrown around as well that I saw about him, in terms of, you know, comparing him to other young goalkeepers around the world.
Yeah.
And I was seeing some of the stats that was coming, and he was ranking really high in a lot of the stats. And the one thing that a lot of people were using him, you know, people using to beat him by, was saying that he couldn't, he's playing out from the back. He plays for Sheffield United. He's just going to hoof the ball, this, that, and the other. But I think that was more of a direction that he was given because of the team he was playing for. Sheffield United weren't exactly a position-based team that played out from the back as such. So I think it was more of a thing where it was an area of unknown. People didn't know what he was going to be about in that respect. But if you look at the team he played for previously, before them, was Bournemouth, and they were a more position-based team, played out from the back. And if you went back that far, then you could start to see, hang on, he has got the ability. Right. And then on top of that, his long kicking, you could see the accuracy in it. How many times he hit his actual man.
He don't just kick it.
No, he doesn't. He aims.
He looks for the player.
100%. You look how many times he's been hitting it. Even down to, like, look how many headers Aubameyang won this weekend.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen Aubameyang win so many headers. And it was just because he was putting them in the right areas, with the right amount of trajectory to give him a run on the defender, because he knew where the ball was going. You know what I mean? And it was then giving him a leap on
as well. You know, like of how he kicks the ball, in terms of, you know, certain times you will see
controlled, especially when you compare him to Leno.
And they're like, you know what, I'm going long now. Everyone out. Do you know what I mean? Leno,
that's the thing. He's in control of what he's doing. Whereas it was like when Leno was doing it, it was like, Arteta's told me we've got to keep it short. I'm going to put my players under pressure.
He's panicking.
Any circumstance.
Exactly.
And then Mikel can't say that to me because I've done what he's asked me to do.
Yeah,
exactly that. Like you can see the whole pitch as well as the keeper.
Exactly.
You're the furthest man back.
You need to have a good character in it as a keeper.
He's got a brain. He's got a brain.
Any top keeper, they're a captain of their own box, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So it's
and
like
the 4 games I've seen him in, I've seen one pass where I felt that he's put someone under pressure, and that was the one that led to the second goal. Or was it the first goal? I think it was the second goal.
Second
Xhaka.
Goal. Yeah.
When he passed it to Xhaka, and that put him up, and I was like, oh my gosh, we've seen Xhaka in that position so many times, haven't we, guys? And I just thought, what's going to happen?
Facts. Can we just talk about Xhaka? I want Ash to answer this one. To be fair, because Ash, you've been very negative towards Xhaka. I kind of feel.
Yeah.
Do you give him praises for what he performed like in the North London derby? To be fair, he was saying he didn't want him to play. I remember.
No, I didn't.
The Congo should be playing.
The thing is, bro, what it is with me, I don't not rate his ability as a footballer when he wants to play, and he complements Partey well. I think them two complement each other well. It's just the whole thing where this guy, and it's like we said, like, you know, now he went and done what he done against City. Then what he tends to do is he's like, oh, it's almost like he's a kid, and it's just like, oh yeah, I've been a bad boy. I'm now going to be good now, like by the book for 10, 15 games, play proper, and then he's going to do some madness again in 10, 15 games. But then he didn't, obviously.
Does the negatives, does the positives outweigh the negatives for Xhaka, or do you just feel like
not for me? He's not Vieira, is he? Like that, he's not in that caliber. Like that's it. He's a good player. Like I'm talking about Arsenal. What players I've seen at Arsenal, centre midfielders in the last 10, 20 years, like he can't fucking clean their boots, bro. Like let's be real. He's a decent player for what we've got at the moment, but you know, for me, I'd be trying to move him on like ASAP, and they did try and move him on. Let's have it right. It's just the Roma thing fell through, and then they try and tell us, oh no, this was the strategy. We've now signed him to a 3-year deal. That was never the plan. But I didn't really. It was, you know, like it was more out of like spite and just like the guy. I don't like the guy. I didn't want him to start in that game, and because Lokonga hadn't really put a foot wrong, Ainsley when he'd come on had looked all right. Like if I'm talking with my head, I would have been thinking, you know what, actually, he probably will play well in that game because now he's going to go on and play like he's now injured. But I believe he probably would have gone on a little run, 10 games, played really well, and then just done another fuckery. And it's just like, I'm sick of it, like, to be honest with you. And that's just my standpoint on it, like, really. I'm not to say that he's a bad footballer, though. No way.
He's wound you up, bro. He's wound you up.
In it, just to touch on that point, though,
man. You know what it is? It's not just the fuck ups, He's another level. Man has disrespected the shirt, bro. Like he has thrown the arm back. Like who are you, bro? Like really? Like you're just about like allow that from like a Henry or Vieira because you still be like, you're so sick that we'll allow you. But you're Xhaka.
Yeah, I hear you.
You're Xhaka. Like, really?
He's out now for what 3 months? They're saying. I feel we're gonna miss him though, and I'm thinking what options we're kind of thinning that centre midfield position.
Can I touch on that?
Go on.
The one thing I would say, I'm not Xhaka's biggest fan either, personally. I think he brings certain things to our team, but I think that says more about our team than it does about Xhaka. I think just by bringing in Lokonga, for example, a bit of an unknown quantity and whatnot, and you've only got to look at how people are calling for him to be starting ahead of Xhaka at the moment, for me. It doesn't take much, in my opinion, to move the needle further than what Xhaka can do for us as a team. I think he has got some good traits, you know, in terms of he's a leader. He's a bit of a physical player. He's not going to get bullied. He don't allow his teammates to be bullied on the field, things like that. Like he's a good passer as well. So there are some good attributes that he has. But I feel like the negatives start to outweigh that in terms of his mobility. I think he's a bit of a liability when it comes to the mobility part. Passing, again, I think when you look at somebody like Lokonga, like I said, he was just come in. When you see how comfortable he is on the ball, he always tries to go forward.
Do you think he's too similar to Partey though, Lokonga? I think he's a good player, but do you think that with Xhaka, he kind of offers something different to the style of passing and play of Partey, so complements him in that fact?
Personally, I don't. I think Xhaka, I think when we play Xhaka, I think that holds Partey back to a certain degree. Because I feel like he feels that he has to be, he has to help Xhaka a lot, I feel personally. Because I feel like you can isolate Xhaka and he doesn't have the mobility to then make up for any of his errors or anything like that. Whereas I feel that Partey then feels that he has to sit a bit more deeper to help him. So then it has to be a 2. Whereas I feel like if you gave somebody like a Lokonga to play with longer term, or if better yet, you improved on him and went and got who a lot of people call him for in the summer, somebody like Basuma, I think you'd see a lot different player in Partey, because I think he's got all the tools to run a midfield. Yeah, but I think if you can release the reins a little bit on him, I think we'd see so much more from him personally. I think if he had the confidence in his partner, in terms of that they had the mobility and, you know, the stability as well to be able to control things when he's then goes on his little furrows up the field.
It's just cut out there.
Yeah, he's cut out.
That's fine. That's fine. I was gonna ask while Xhaka is gone, would you play him at Partey alongside Lokonga, or do the 4-2-3-1, or would you prefer to do the 4-3-3 where Odegaard drops back with Partey in it, like assisting?
I would change it, adapt it. That's the blessing now, where we've got a bit of depth in the squad. So I would literally adapt it. I think when we're the favourite, when we're at home to the majority of teams, I would definitely go with what you said with having Odegaard, Smith Rowe.
Odegaard, you know so 4-3-3,
yeah. 4-3-3, and then Partey sitting. And then, the other games, when obviously we're up against it, a team with a bit more physicality in that, I would definitely go with like Lokonga or Ainsley even. But I do agree, like, as in, I know what Kerr's saying. Like, I mean, in terms of their attributes, I know what he's saying in terms of Partey's always got his thinking head, is this guy going to let us down? And I can't really like express myself as much because he's got one thought in his head, like, Xhaka's there. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of Kerr's angle. I get it. So from that respect, I guess, we would definitely see a better Partey if we had a better option, because everyone was crying out for that. Like I said, like for me, you know my view on Xhaka, innit? It would have been one of the first things I did, like an established player, like more so than a Lokonga who's up and coming. I would have gone all out for a Bazuma, Ruben Neves, whoever you want to call it. You know, there's quite a few around. How about you, bro? What would you?
It depends on who we're playing, to be quite honest. Like, I kind of feel that, you know, for some matches we can play the 4-3-3. You know, Odegaard is good at tracking back. He can assist Partey. I feel against the strong position, I would go for the 4-2-3-1. I think we need that a bit still. I like the fact that you got two kind of defensive midfielders in Jack and Partey, or Lokonga and Partey kind of getting those tackles in, and I think we do need it against a strong opposition. So yeah, you know, we've got the squad now to be flexible. I'm a bit worried about when African Nations happens, you know, when Partey's got a goal as well, and then, you know, what's his name? We've only got Lokonga, and, you know, Xhaka's going to be injured, so I am a bit worried. But, you know, it is what it is. We'll see what Arteta does. At least we've got, you know, the addition of Maitland-Niles to be another option. So yeah, Kurz, you're back with us, yeah? I thought the talk of Xhaka was technical. Nah, that's all good, bro. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
It must have been because I was talking on Xhaka's name,
innit? He's watching you, bro. He's watching you. All right, I'm not gonna. I want to ask one more question on the North London derby. I just want to know that, do you feel that is this the start of something, or is this a case of it's the North London derby? You know, the lads are up for it. They've been told how much it means, and therefore they've played outside of their skins, or is it a case of, you know, we're onto something? We're actually going to progress. We're moving forward. You know, we're scoring more goals. We're looking more clinical in attack. Because the last couple of matches we've been defensively solid, but I thought going forward we were a bit poor, if I'm honest. But this is the first match I've kind of seen where I kind of felt going forward it looked good. You know, we were clinical. So let me ask you, Kerr, do you think it's the start of something new, or was it just a North London derby and we just were up for that match?
Personally, I think I don't know if it's more hope than expectation. but I'm hoping that it is the start of something new. I mean, we've seen us win big games before, whether it be like Chelsea last season and things like that, and not actually then kicked on. But I'm hoping, especially seeing that, you know, when I look at this team, it looks like it's a new team in essence. You know, there's not many players that I look around and think, oh my gosh, why is he playing? Why is he playing? Like, I'm actually like the look of our first 11 at the moment. I think we've got a bit of tactical fluidity as well in it, whether in terms of he wants to change the systems and whatnot from game to game, depending on the opposition at the moment. And I feel that he can do that wanting to do it rather than being forced into it, because he hasn't got the players to play the system he wants to play, etc. And as I say, I think when we look at the Norwich game, when we look at the Burnley game, I thought, although they weren't, you know, the best games, or, you know, we didn't perform to our best, I thought they were coming from where we was in terms of, you know, we was in such a dark place at the time, 3 losses in 3, no confidence going through the team. I feel like that was a little bit of that playing into it. And then you had obviously things like Ben White, who was, you know, just starting. He's obviously got a big price tag hanging over his head and things like that. So he had a few iffy moments and stuff like that. But I feel like he's growing game on game at the moment. And when I look at, you know, the way we was playing in some of those games, like Ash mentioned earlier, we had enough chances in both of those games to kill it off and make the result, the score lines look a lot different. I feel like they were, for varying reasons. I felt like in the first game, I felt like that was against Norwich. That was because, like I said, confidence was low and things like that. So people weren't taking their chances. In the second game against Burnley, I thought, like I said, the build-up play and everything and the transitions were getting better. You could see what we was trying to do. But the final ball that would, you know, allow us to go and break the team down was letting us down. But I do think the pitch was very slow in terms of the ball. I feel like, I know it's a bit of a, you know, excuse or whatever, you know. I've been hearing about
that's why he didn't see the K penalty. I'm seeing it now.
This is what I'm saying. I was about that Burnley grass, you know, and saying how they
that's the thing, innit? The grass don't get to see the ball much at Burnley, innit? The ball's in the sky.
And when I was seeing how frequently it was happening, though, it was like it was happening. There was so many undercooked passes in that game, and when you think we're used to playing on carpets, innit? Let's be real, like the ball don't hold up like that. So I feel like that was a bit of played a part in that game, and then obviously the Spurs game, like you said. We know what a North London derby is, especially at home. And I feel like we had enough players in the team that also knew what that was. Our manager knows, as much, whatever your opinion is, our manager knows what a North London derby means, innit? And I feel like he was always going to translate that to his players. And I'm happy they turned up, you know, for it. But the thing is, going against Brighton next is going to be a tough game. That Graham Potter has his teams very well drilled.
Brighton are doing well at the moment as well.
Exactly, they're doing very well. They got their towels up at the minute. Confidence is going to be up. So I think this is going to be another test in terms of, like we're saying, is it going to just be a if we lose basically or don't get a positive result, people are going to say, it was a North London derby. Back to, you beat Norwich, you beat Burnley. So then it's going to be back to square one where you can't please anybody. I'm really hoping that we can go there where it is a difficult game at the moment. We can go get the result that we need, preferably a win, because that's what I'm looking for in terms of to try and catch the teams further above us at the moment and keep climbing the table. And if we can get that under our belt, then I feel like that would be a big sign that it isn't just, you know, like a flash in the pan moment kind of thing, and it is actually a sign that the team is moving forward. And I feel like if we did get that result, our team as a whole, confidence and everything like that would only benefit us going into the international break.
Let me show you the next few fixtures, sorry, and let me know your thoughts on if we can get the win, or if it's going to be a draw or a loss, you know, and tell me your results, your score results as well. We're going to briefly just skim through it. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll start with you, Ash. We've got the Brighton away match next. What's your thoughts? We're going to get the win. What's the score?
I reckon 2-1 to Arsenal.
Okay. Kerr?
I'm gonna go with that as well. 2-1 Arsenal.
All right. Cool. All right. Next one, we've got Crystal Palace at home. So Kerr, we'll start with you this time.
Just because Vieira's there as well, being manager, I think he's going to get him up for this game in terms of I think the players are really going to want to play for him this game. And, like he's kind of welcome home back to Arsenal kind of game. And, obviously they've got players like Zaha who always like to give us a tough game.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be tight, but I'll say at home, I'm going for another 2-1.
Yeah, I think home advantage in this one. I think we're going to get the 2-0, to be quite honest. I didn't touch on the Brighton match. I'm going to say I thought 2-1 as well, to be fair. But Ash, what do you think for Crystal Palace at home?
2-0.
Yeah.
I think we'll be. Yeah, I agree what Kerr's saying. Exactly. Zaha, obviously, he's still bitter. I don't blame him, to be fair. Obviously, he's a gooner. He always wants to do well.
Yeah.
So, and Vieira obviously coming back. Yeah, we'll see, innit? It's, you know what it is? What's mad? Don't get me wrong. Let's go with it. But, just anything could happen. Fucking
facts.
COVID could take out half the team and all that madness. But, yeah.
Yeah. Facts. I think this one's the next one. We're only going to look at the next 5 anyway, but I think the next one is a difficult one. Aston Villa. For me, we're at home, to be fair, but I mean, last season, I think they beat us twice, didn't they? Outplayed us as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
Man,
and they're still
playing some teams at the moment as well. When you look at how they played against Chelsea,
United,
they gave both of them a very good game, and I think they dominated both of those games. Personally, I thought they were very unlucky against Chelsea. Chelsea are just a machine, so they were lucky to get the result. I thought personally, although it was 3-0, that was so inflated. Should have been a lot different, but that's going to be a difficult game.
What are you saying for that score then?
One.
Ooh, okay.
I think that's our most difficult game.
Yeah. In the next 5.
Out of the next 5, I think that's our most difficult game, personally.
Yeah. What are you saying,
Although
Ash?
we're at home, I'm hoping we might be able to nick it, but they're going to be confident, especially the last couple of goals they've got against us.
Yeah, they don't have Grealish this time, but they're still playing well, to be fair, and they're playing as a team. So, it's a difficult one.
On current form, I'd have to say, because you know what, being real, when you just adding it all up, are we going to win 5 on the bounce? Well, actually, it would be 8 on the bounce. No, we're not, because I look at all them games, they're all winnable games. But if out of those 5, you would say the Leicester and the Villa game, I would say would be draws.
Yeah.
Go 1-1 on both those games, and I'll go Arsenal and Leeds. I think we'll beat them. I think because of our squad. I think our squad will be quite. We will go with a strong team in that game as well. We're not in Europe. You've seen the way he's taking that competition seriously, so I think we'll beat Leeds as well.
And I think with the EFL Cup, I think Leeds will kind of weaken their squad, to be fair.
I do as well. They haven't started well in the Prem, have they?
Exactly. They've been doing poor at them. I think they're 18th position at the moment or something crazy.
They've won a game yet.
Wow. Yeah. Exactly.
They've won a game.
So you think we got that victory then? Okay.
I think so. Yeah, definitely Leeds.
What about Leicester?
I reckon that'll be by a few goals as well. I think that'll be 2-3-0.
I hope you're right, mate.
Might even look to roll to that game,
Okay. What about Leicester? Okay.
I'm a little bit more optimistic than Ash on that one. I think we might do them. I haven't been convinced by Leicester's start this season. To be fair, they've looked the poorest I've seen them in a little while. To be fair, they normally give us a good game. They're normally good games, but I'm a little bit from what I've seen from the team at the moment. I'm quietly confident we can get a little result from there.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go. Where are we away on that game?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna go 2-0.
Okay, rah. Okay. They ain't been playing well either, to be fair. So
I was gonna say 2-1, but at the moment our defenses look solid. I'm not
solid.
even gonna lie.
Yeah,
We've looked so
yeah.
solid at the back, and I'm not really giving. I only gave Palace a goal because of like what I said, because of Vieira and all the rest of it. Otherwise, I'd have given that 2-0 as well. But I just see Zaha maybe getting a little pen or something. But other than,
But he's gonna play for it. He's gonna play for it. That's for sure.
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. So other than that, though, I'm pretty confident with the rest of those games. If I'm being honest.
Has it disappeared from the screen now? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Okay, it's been a good week, man. It's been a good week, and it's been a good conversation. What I wanted to do is there any random things that you would like to bring up before we close the show this week? Anything you want to discuss? It could be a movie, a show, another football team, something you're doing. It could be Arsenal again. We'll start with you, Ash. If you haven't, mate, don't worry. It's cool. I'm not going to put you on the spot.
I think the most interesting thing of my week was probably having an argument with someone that Oliver Skip was better than Partey. Probably,
bro.
exactly. Your reaction straight away.
But you know what? The Spurs supporters do rate him though. They rate that guy,
mate,
you know.
What was funny?
That's ridiculous.
You're not even saying the whole thing. Shaka or Lakonga or something like.
You know the thing which I find,
there's nothing world class about Skip. That is just a joke.
You know what I find a lot, quickly with Partey, and it's not even the Arsenal classes, because even like I know a few Ghanaians who talk on Partey and they rate him off hard, and people watch Spanish football and they've seen him at Atletico. It's like I know Partey's not had the best injury record, but people are like, it's only Arsenal fans I think that really know how good Partey is, if I'm honest. A lot of fans outside, like I was hearing another pod I was on, I don't really see much difference when El Neni's in or Partey's in.
Because a lot of these teams don't watch Arsenal games, bro.
Yeah,
this is it.
They don't actually apply any context to it. All they see is the result. Arsenal doing crap. And all of a sudden, Partey was playing as well, so he couldn't have done anything. Really, it's like, Partey was the best player on the pitch, but our team's been crap. So what can you do, innit? Like, there's no context with it. But with other supporters, especially Spurs supporters, I don't expect
you're not going to
them
get
to
nothing
put any kind of context on the Arsenal team or player, innit? Like, he used the same person you're talking about, tried to use the same kind of logic, and then tried to use Romero and them, man. Like,
that was too funny. That was the funniest thing about it, because he was trying to say, innit, I'm going to put Romero in the team, and then it was like, but you were saying that you can't put Partey in because he hasn't played enough minutes for Arsenal. He played enough, like in an Arsenal shirt. But then, you're like just picking someone who's got smashed out 3-0 in one game, and like you want to use the whole, he's been wicked in Italy, but you don't want to talk about Partey's career outside of Arsenal. So it was funny, man. It was just a weird conversation, and he paid for it. Basically, he got memed up, mate. Don't play with me.
What about yourself, Kurt? Anything you want to bring up, bro?
I'm gonna keep it football. I'm gonna talk. I just want to ask you guys a little question. Man United, are they as good as they're being praised up to be at the moment? Because me personally, I'm not seeing it. They got a good team, in my opinion. They got great players, but I feel like last season, this season, their position's been is a bit inflated. Like, and I'm not personally, I'm looking at it, and especially everyone's talking about this big four business at the moment. It's like when Arsenal were part of it, all of a sudden they wanted to expand it to 6, and now we're doing a little bit there. Now they're talking about top 4 again.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit mad to me, but I'm looking at Man United. They're moving the goalpost, man. The agenda's a real fan. But I'm looking at Man United. Even tonight, they're drawing 1-1 with Villarreal.
They're drawing 1-1,
at home. And I haven't been impressed by many of their performances this season. And when you think, out of all the other top teams, they've probably had the easiest fixtures.
Agreed. Do you know what I kind of feel with Man United? I think they have got some good players, to be fair. If you look, you got Varane, you got Ronaldo, You got Pogba.
Individuals, yeah.
Individuals, they got great individuals, yeah. I think they ain't got a good manager, to be quite
100%.
honest. I think that's their key issue. I think if you give that team, that squad to an half decent coach, he will do something with that. You know, you can't have Ronaldo and be losing to young boys or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? You can't be doing that.
Let me tell you, bro.
But then they got played off the park by West Ham, played off the park by Villa.
Yeah, Villa, definitely.
That's what I mean. Like, wait, they would get like it was.
Yeah, under Oli, yeah, they are not winning anything. This is why I'm cheering them on this weekend, mate. Why I'm cheering them on. I wanna get them to get a few results. I don't want to keep getting losses on the bounce.
Yeah,
he'll be gone. I want him to stay as long as possible.
Facts.
The owners, let's have it right. The owners are going to be content. Yeah, all owners in football now, they don't care if you win the league. It's top 4. You get top 4. You got Champions League money.
You want the money?
They're quite happy with Oli. Do you know what I mean? Unless they're in a risk of getting outside of the top 4, they won't get rid of Oli. I'm telling you, they won't get rid of him. So let's get them just in and around the, 3rd, 4th, whatever. Because like Jermaine JR was saying, like they're not gonna ever go to that level. Can you imagine Oli in that dressing room, like giving out tactics, and then as soon as they walk down the tunnel, Ronaldo, Ronaldo and Pogba and their managers like walking down the tunnel out, and they're just like, okay, lads, this is what we're actually gonna do. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I saw? I was watching the other day. Mark Goldbridge, he's Man United boy. He's got that talk show, and he had Paul Ince on the show talking about what's going on with Man United and why things are not working. And I was thinking, Paul, you snake though, bro. Like, man was just talking about Oli like he's nothing. It's like it's all right for us to because, like, we support another team. We don't rate him. But Paul Ince was just going in like, it's set up the way it's the style of play that he's got them playing, blah blah blah. And I'm thinking, you just want the Man United job.
I was just gonna say that to you. I think he feels like him.
He's a weekly person on it,
That's exactly what it is. It's what it is, And you hear it all the time from mans like Keane and Neville and all of these men. They're like, oh, you know what? Oli was never really like a loud character in the dressing room and that. Yeah. And there's a bit of low key.
But then man kind of back him a bit more. I think
jealous. Why has he got the opportunity? Go more old school. Like what my man saying, Incy, and even play like you hear even like when Dwight York be talking and people like that. Yeah, these men are not feeling it, bro, because they're like, well, this man's got an opportunity when none of us can get an opportunity.
Come on. York is messaging Cole, innit? He's just saying, this guy, man, he was flipping bench. He was holding bench. How's a skeezer the manager?
100%. But to add to it though, just a quick one, So I think personally, you got Liverpool, Chelsea, City. Now, whatever way that three trio end up in, in what order is up for debate.
Yeah. Are you about to say a madness?
I am about to say.
You're about to say a madness.
I'm not even saying Arsenal right now. Yeah. So
okay.
Right. I'm hoping. Obviously.
Yeah.
Always the hope we can go on a little madness, but I don't think that 4th spot is going to be as far away from some of them other teams, because you know how the team's been going on a run. Like you look at the teams like Leicester last year, obviously they're not doing the same this year. West Ham last year, like they only missed out on that top 4 in the last couple of
facts
by the end of last season.
We was only we had the crap season and we were only 6 off.
The team that people are that are going to keep that top 4 gap open to some other teams to give people something to chase, because I think they're going to drop some points.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I think it's there for the taking. I believe a man who can't play Jadon Sancho in his team and get the best out of him is not the man to manage a top team.
He subbed him again tonight.
He subbed him again
tonight after
There's
70 minutes.
The problem with Oli is like he there's no way he's going to be able to keep all of them like happy. Like gunman like Cavani, Ronaldo, Pogba, Bruno, like Greenwood, and then you've got Greenwood, Rashford, Sancho.
They're all on the pitch right now.
Like Lingard. It's just mad. Like, how can you they're all on. Fuck it up.
Yeah, and they're drawing 1-1. It's
mad.
Yeah, it's just like he's not going to be able to like balance that whole thing. So there's going to be a lot of problems. Like even you saw it with the Ronaldo Bruno situation with the penalty. Like, you know, like you can imagine Ronaldo has just gone back in the dressing room. Ronaldo being how he is, he probably would have booted off with Bruno, and like Ollie's like, "Hey guys, come on, chill out." You know what I mean? It's like,
because he's sitting there
like,
thinking, "But in
Ollie,
the international team, you're not
we'll
even
sort this
lacing my
out.
boots, big man. Now coming
I
back
swear.
to Old Trafford, and you're
You
trying
know
to
what?
say you're ahead of
It's
me in the
mad.
pecking order.
It's
What's
mad.
going on?"
Soon we're gonna hear it that Ollie got beaten up in the dressing room by one of them, man. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
It's gonna be the whole Beckham. You know when Fergie kicked the boot at Beckham thing?
We're gonna dash out Ollie.
You're gonna see Ollie come out with a bandage on his head, bro.
We'll see. But I definitely do believe that that top four is there for the taking from someone, especially that fourth position. I do agree with that. So yeah, well, we're gonna finish up, but I'm gonna add a couple points. I want to take it outside of football first. Something for you guys to watch. I don't even know what things you like watching, but I would say there's something on Netflix called Squid Game or something like that. Some South Korean thing, yeah. Like battle royale, where like basically if you've got some like debts to pay or something like that. So to pay it off, you have to go in some game, yeah, and survive basically. Well, it's nuts, bro. It got 9 out of 10 though on the reviews for Netflix. Yeah, and everyone's just raving on about it. I probably said the name wrong to be fair, but check it out.
Like Squid Game.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you the link after. Like not the usual thing I'd watch, but 9 out of 10, I'm about that.
That's long. So, imagine that, you know, you're in debt and you've got to do things. Get in the ring, man, with about 20 man battle royal.
That's what I was saying. Yeah,
I've been in them predicaments.
It's scam, bro. It's gonna be some Hunger Games thing, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
After this COVID business.
The last thing I want to put up, I just want to get your quick views on it. Giroud, he turns 35 this week. He had 253 appearances for us, 105 goals, 41 assists. How is he remembered by you, man? Just briefly, is he obviously? I wouldn't say he's a legend for me, but
no, not a legend.
But he's not a legend. But I don't think he was a flop. He wasn't a flop though.
No. You know what it is with Giroud? He's come
Oliver Giroud. Yeah, for Arsenal. I was gonna get. Let's go on, Ash.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking he's come off the back, hasn't he, of like people like strikers before him, like Henry, Van Persie, even Adebayor played really well at the time. Do you know what I mean? Got to move to City. So then he's always, you know what? It's mad because technically he's actually good on the eye. Some of the goals he scored, his first touch was just
he's so
very
underrated,
techie, bro. There was one goal where it come over from a cross and it was a crowded box and he just took it down with one touch. And he scored from like the angle. I just remember that. Obviously, everyone knows the Palace one where he done the scorpion sort of kick.
Yeah, the Norwich
got all
one.
Of that in his locker. And like, I don't know. It's a good one. As in, he's not like legendary status, but was he a fan favorite? Yeah, I liked him, man. He was always a great option from the bench as well.
And I think that's what it was.
Mobility weren't the quickest.
You know what? It's a bit of a horses for courses kind of thing, innit? Like the thing with him, at the time. We needed that mobility as well, innit? And that's what that's what Giroud lacked. Like the mobility 100%. Aspect. Like we was used to having a player that blazes, man, innit? Like Omri and them kind of man there, Nelka, Brighty, players that can just get on the last defender.
Remember how Giroud used to run with a slow motion, man, innit? It was slow motion.
It started to slow down when we got Van Persie. That was when it first started to slow down because then it become about technical. Van Persie was a technical genius, like with a ball, like, and he was just deadly in it. Giroud, he had good technique, and he was really good at bringing people into the game and people to play off him, whether that be Walcott's and whoever else. Like he brought a lot of people into the game. But I feel like for Arsenal and the caliber of striker, we felt that we were used to, and we felt that we should have deserved, just being real, like as Arsenal fans, because of the long line of strikers that we've had. I feel like he should have been number 2. To somebody. And the reason, the fact that he was number 1, and a lot of people remember a lot of the stuff, a lot of the misses and like the limits that he had to his game, I feel like that's why people dismiss him. But I feel like if he was a number 2 and was an option that was rotated with somebody, then I think we would be, you know, singing his praises a lot more. Because I think
just quick,
he was underrated.
Just quickly, do you rate him more than Lacazette in his prime?
Do you know what? I think he done more for Arsenal.
Yeah.
I think he done more for Arsenal. If I'm being honest, like Lacazette was brought in to be his improvement, innit? And listen, I'm not in the business of bashing Laka because he's my guy. I
He's a
rate
gun
Lacazette highly, but like I think he's a baller. Like I just don't think he's had he hasn't done it in an Arsenal shirt.
Not for 46 mil.
Expected. Not for exactly that. And when you think of what we got Giroud for, in terms
15
of
mil or something crazy.
12 mil or something.
Yeah, 12 mil,
we got him for from Montpellier.
Yeah.
And it was like, bro.
That was when we were doing those. Wenger was on them ones, innit? And all of these type of man. Shamax and all of these type of man for like 12
mil. Don't do Drew like that. He's better than Shamak. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
That caliber of player.
The best striker in the world, Lord Bentner. Like he was levels above man like that.
We're not gonna go there. We're not.
When we was rebuilding, innit, the stadium, we'd lose to like a marquee player every year. Like someone would go to City, like a conveyor belt, or whoever it may be. And then we
find a gem or a dud
or a fucking whoever it would be for like
Them times. Listen, boys.
We just quickly on Giroud. See, Giroud like, is rated highly in the national team. Like he could be number 2 at Arsenal, number 2 at Chelsea. He's always
got picked.
He was
above Lacazette as well.
Most people.
And I blame Laka for that, and that's because one as well though. Don't forget, Benzema was outcasted
out for time.
We'll throw that in there. And obviously Griezmann was a bit of a golden boy for them, man. So Griezmann couldn't play up front on his own for that French team. And he's not really a good lone striker, innit?
I kind of mean more like, you know, even when he was Chelsea's number 2.
Giroud was that player that they brought in to assist him in it, and the rest of their technical midfield and that they had in it to like link it all together. But
I kind of mean more like, you know, with Chelsea, he was number 2 in it. Like at Chelsea, he weren't really getting games, even when he was holding bench.
Even when he's scoring goals, a couple of goals here and there, they didn't really respect him.
They were quite restricted. France, so like you say, Griezmann needed that guy with him. Like Griezmann's not like a 9, is he? Do you know what I mean?
I blame Lacazette. I really do, because I personally think, just being real, because when we bought him, that was meant to be the Giroud upgrade, isn't it? He was meant to, like he was. Let's be real, he was banging 30+ goals for Leon.
Half of them were penalties though, a couple times there and there, but he was scoring. He was scoring consistently.
But he was still banging them away. He was still putting them away, whatever it is. So I was expecting a bit more from him. Like I thought he was going to be a bit more explosive than he turned out to be, and stuff like that for Arsenal. Like it was like he come to the Prem and it looked like he didn't really even have like the pace to get away from certain players and that. And I felt like he then adapted his game, and now you see him like he become more of like a like the ball comes into him, sticks his bum into man, and then he's laying the ball off here, there, and everywhere. We didn't bring you in for that, bro. Like Giroud was doing that.
Explosive,
like he was a big man,
right, bro. Explosive on the shoulder
to collect that ball, piss up a man, and get on your back.
I hear you.
He had that with Giroud, mate.
We've just had how many years of that? Like we
for 12 mil.
Do the same. Like,
you know what I'm saying? All right, listen, boys. It's been a pleasure this week, man. It's been a lot of banter, a lot of fun, a lot of good discussions. I just want to thank you for taking out the time to do this today, man. You know, and hopefully we can do it again soon and just catch up. But respect to you, Ash, for coming on again. You're becoming a regular, bro. And
man.
He's everywhere. You can catch this guy everywhere.
I've got to head off now.
Work rate. Kerr, respect for coming on today as well, man. I appreciate it. It's been a pleasure, man. You've been great today. Yeah. Hopefully we can do this again, man. Respect.
We're looking forward to it, man. Anytime.
Right. Well, people, Brighton next. Let's hope we can get the victory. This week was about celebrating the North London derby. On to the next. we move. Peace, people. Take care.
Peace.